Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's a preview of the third last ever game at the Bowling Ground as we entertain Watford on Wednesday night. Jason, let's start with yourself. What's your thoughts on our opponents? If there's one team in the league I know very little about, it's probably Watford, to be honest with you. I could probably name about five of their players, and that is it. What's your opinions on them?
Well, they sort of kept a bit under the radar, really. They've not really been too troubled by relegation for a recently promoted team. They've just quietly gone about their business, and yeah, I think they've been doing quite well, really. Maybe that's the best sort of thing for them, just to stay under the radar and just do their bits when they take their opportunities.
Does that impress you, Jason, the fact that they have come up and, like you said, they haven't done anything bad, they haven't done anything exceedingly good? FA Cup apart, obviously, in the league. But is that the best thing for a newly promoted team to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think just consolidate yourself, get yourself in the Premier League, no frills, just make a statement, safety, and then you've got that Premier League platform to push on from and attract the next level caliber sort of players.
What's your thoughts on them, and then Tom? Have you got opinions on Watford?
I don't know. They're probably a good start to the season. I, like yourself, I didn't know too much about them coming in. I just know that they had a few decent players in decent positions. They've flown under the radar a bit since then. They've had a poor second half of the season, and probably the FA Cup has allowed them to be a bit more expressive than the troubles, if you will, in the Premier League week in, week out. But no, I think they're a decent side. I think they've got a good manager. And they've proven to be quite dangerous over time, especially with the likes of Deeney and Igalo, especially if they're on form.
Well, they've only won two of their last eight. One of them was this weekend away to West Brom. Tom, do you think that's just because they're safe? They've just, they've not really got anything to play for in league positions.
I think so. Maybe again, I don't know if obviously they've got one eye on Wembley. I don't know if that as well. I would personally, especially for a team like Watford, when you don't usually win it, a competition like that. And they are safe. They know they're safe. And it wouldn't surprise me, if they've impressed a few people enough to go out and pick up some bigger names in the summer anyway. So I think that they're absolutely fine, and whatever the results that they've got, they've got.
Well, we've touched on the FA Cup. Jason, do you think you might see a second string Watford side? Because they play us on Wednesday night, then they're at Wembley at the weekend in the semi-final. Surely, as a Watford fan, you might be willing to sacrifice 3 points in this game, would you?
Yeah, I think they could turn a blind eye to Sanchez Flores sending a second string side. It just remains to be seen because there are some prize bonuses, depending on placing in the Premier League. If they do want the little extra bit of financial backing, then it's still all to play for, really.
Do you agree with that, Tom? Would you expect a second string side? If you were a Watford fan, would you want to see a second string side, or do you think they need to win and try and keep the momentum going a wee bit to Wembley?
No, I think I'd definitely get a second string side going in, because I think Palace are also one of those teams that will probably be quite dangerous at Wembley. I think they'll be very good come the weekend. So I'd definitely stick out a second string. Just all you have to do is stay up. Next year, we all know, is the big deal for the Premier League TV deal. So anybody that gets in next season will be seeing big bucks as it is for the TV deal. So yeah, definite second string on Wednesday.
Well, I think there's three players that's impressed me for Watford this season. One of them is our keeper, Gomez. The other two is our two strikers. Jason, let's start with yourself with Igalo. What do you make of him? He kind of blasted his way onto the scene in the Premier League. West Ham were linked with him in January. Owners admitted freely that we've inquired about him, but got put off by the price tag. What's your thoughts on him up front? Bear in mind, he's only scored one goal in his last 12 games.
Yeah, I was going to say he had a really good purple patch over the course of the first half of the season, but he's just gone off the boil a little bit. I think it's the nature of a striker, really. You're going to have a fair, you're lucky to get a striker that's going to consistently score throughout a season. I just think confidence all under his belt again. I'm sure they'll free flow again and just see how it goes from there. But it's a certain degree of what services he's getting as well, because like I said, thinking at the same time, I can't really think of a playmaker Watford have that unlocks a defence on a regular basis.
And Tom, what do you make of their skipper, Troy Deeney? He's actually really impressed me. I wondered how he would do in the Premier League and whether it would maybe be a step too far for him if Championship was maybe his level and he'd be the big fish in the small pond there. However, I think he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant because he's a leader, Troy Deener, and he's that voice in the dressing room who will stand up, protect his players, and be counted for. And as well, it turns out he's a great finisher at times. Took a while to get off the mark this year, especially, but no, he is. I think he's a very good captain for them, and I think he's definitely someone that should be a focal point and probably the first man on the team sheet for them every week.
Yeah, Jason just said there he couldn't think of a playmaker for Watford. I think indeed he is the playmaker. I was impressed by how deep he comes and he lets Ighalo do all the running. Just as a wee stat there that interests me, Ighalo scores once every 199 minutes in the Premier League. Our own man, Andy Carroll, has a much better record, once every 126 minutes. So for people, when they talk about and say Ighalo's a really top striker, well, actually, Andy Carroll's goal-scoring record is a lot better than his. That's middle of the show, time to talk about the man in the middle, Mike Dean. I actually quite like him. I think he's a decent enough referee. We've had him this season 3 times. We beat Sunderland 1-0 at home. We drew away to Aston Villa 1-1, and we drew at home to Norwich 2-2. Watford have had him twice, both home games, when they beat Norwich 2-0 and drew with Chelsea. And he's handed out 3 red cards in his last 5 games. So it seems to be a current theme, red cards in West Ham. So maybe Mike Dean's going to continue that. Interesting fact for Mike Dean, his middle name is Leslie. I find that amusing anyway. It's not really a manly middle name. Right, let's talk about our own team. Tom, I think we'll all agree with this one. Antonio needs moved. Correct or not correct?
Correct. Antonio needs to move. He needs to be up on the right wing. Get Tompkins or Byram in for this game. I don't care what it is, but Antonio just needs to be up on right wing. We need that energy up top. And he's going to bring it every minute of the game. But no, I don't think I can survive another game with him at right back. Not because he's bad there, but just because he's just so wasted back there. That's all.
Jason, we've looked a bit leaky since James Collins picked up his injury and has been out. He's been on the bench now, but would you put him back in, or are you sticking with Reid and Ogbonna?
I think we've been missing Collins like a hole in the head. I mean, he's called the Ginger Pele for a reason. Commitment, blood, sweat and thunder all over the pitch, and I think that's just what we've been lacking. I think the refereeing decisions we've had of late have been sort of papering over the cracks of our defence is a bit leaky while he's been away, and I think he's been sorely missed.
Tom, we started today against Leicester, 3 centre midfielders. Are you hoping Bilic scraps that and gets Lanzini back in, or would you keep the 3 centre mids and try and boss the game on Wednesday night?
No, I definitely have Lanzini back in. He has to go back on that team sheet. We spoke about it at half-time the other day. We really missed him in that first half, and I don't think we can afford to get off to a slow start again on Wednesday. I think we need to just come out the traps early. I think we've got to get the best squad out there, and that means Antonio up at right wing, and I also think that means Lanzini in. Not Obiang's fault. It's not like he's done anything wrong, but again, he probably would be the casualty that would make way for Lanzini in that regard. Yeah,
I agree. I don't think Obiang's done anything wrong, like you said. It's just that we need to sacrifice a centre midfielder, and we need to get Lanzini back in there. You said we need to get off to a quick start, and it's going to be very difficult. Watford have only been behind twice at half-time away from home this season, and there's only 2 teams. They've only been behind twice at half-time, and only Man City and Everton have done better. So away from home, they're not too shabby, especially in the first 45 minutes. Jason, let's talk about the striker. Emenike started against Leicester. Did he impress you at all? Would you like to see Carroll start, or are you hoping that the Sacco thing is up to Bilic? It's up to Bilic whether Sacco stays or goes. Are you hoping that they shake hands, forget about it, and we see Sacco return?
Oh, well, it's a bit shrouded in mystery, isn't it? They're injured, bust-ups. I mean, let's just wait till it all rises to the surface on that one. So, excuse me. I'm not 100% sure what's going on behind closed doors, but it's a bit of a worrying situation. But I hope it's not the last we've seen of Sacco, because he does perform and does do a job. But going back to Emenike, just again, I saw he got beat up a lot by Hoof during the course of the match. But again, he just does a lot of running. Him and Antonio work rate all along that right wing, but again, he just doesn't bring goals to the game. But he does put in a shift. I can't fault him on that.
Who do you want to start up front on Wednesday then, Jason, against Watford?
I'd go with Andy Carroll. He seems to be our biggest goal threat, really. But Emenike, again, not a bad backup option to have on the bench to work the defenders and stretch them a little bit.
Tom, is this is this a must-win? I think everybody's getting a wee feeling that top four is now maybe gone, that we didn't win today. But the Europa League's still massively up for grabs. We're just behind Man U. We've still got to play Man U, but we've got Liverpool and Southampton right behind us now. Is this a real must-win game?
Yeah, this is crunch point. This is crunch point of the season, and it's a must-win because there's so many teams that want it just as much as we do, and we need it as much as they do. And I think they're tough games, but all the games that we've got left are winnable games, starting with Wednesday. And I think the whole team wants to bounce back with a win. I think we were unlucky today. Obviously, we're not going to go into the decision, but we were unlucky today, and I think it was. I think everybody will want to bounce back with a win on Wednesday, and I think we'll be all right.
Jason, are you confident?
As confident as I can be. I just hope Mike Dean, brings his A game to the job, and just see how we get on.
Well, it's almost prediction time from these two. I myself don't want to brag too much, but I did say 2-2 against Leicester. A nice 14-1 bet there, but the 94th minute goal does take the shine off the winnings a wee bit. If you're wanting to keep up to date with all your West Ham news, do check out cladandhugh.info. Come chat with us on our free forum at hammerschat.boards.net, and of course make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Gonzo's Rosette has just gone up as well, so you can keep up to date with all the weekly news. Tom, you're feeling a wee bit confident, I think. What's your score prediction for this game?
Don't do that to me, because you said that at the start of the Man U game for the preview and look what happened. If we'd have got rolled over today, I'd have said, you know what, I'm not confident, because I would have questioned whether we were up for fighting for this challenge. If we were up for fighting for fifth place and sixth place, but coming off to today and seeing how well we did perform, albeit with the Vardy sending off, I am confident. Also because obviously they've got Wembley at the weekend, so I think it's going to be close, but I think we're going to nick it. Would you like a prediction, or would you?
Yes, please. A score prediction. Get your neck on the line. Get off that bench.
Okay, I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1, and I don't know who's gonna have a good game. I think it's gonna be a team performance, and I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win. Just.
Jason, final thoughts on your score prediction, please.
It's gonna be again. Whenever I'm sort of half optimistic going into a game, we play terribly. And then when I'm not so optimistic going into a game, we do all right. So I'm just trying to stay as indifferent as possible and just see how we get on. But I'm thinking, stick the neck on my line, I'm thinking about 2-0. I just haven't seen much of Dini and Ighalo lately, and I hope they just keep misfiring and just show up to the cup games.
Yeah, I'm going to copy yourself there, Jason. It's 2-0 for me. I think it's going to be comfortable. I'm taking a punt, though, that Watford send out their second team, and it's just, we don't even have to hit top gear. I remember playing Newcastle earlier this season when we didn't even have to hit top gear to win the game. It was relatively straightforward. I've got a feeling it might be a little bit like that. And then we've obviously got the weekend break because our opponents would be Man United, but they're playing in the semi-final, so we'll get that wee rest. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be back Wednesday night straight after full time with the review. We'll be up 20 minutes after the final whistle. Don't go anywhere.